Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. It's Thursday, February 16th. We just had PPI data come out, threw us for a loop a little bit, but all right. So let's get to our individual stocks in just a minute. QQQ, SPY, TLT, UP. So what happened was 8:30 a.m. PPI data came in pretty hot, well above expectations, and the market immediately started pulling back. You can see that move over here. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but it was something like 0.3% or 0.4% higher than expected the month over month, which to me is pretty significant. And the first thing I looked for was a move in TLT and UUP, and you're seeing UUP rates are up. So, man, this has not really worked. This play of watching impact on risk assets like RK and Bitcoin has not worked out great recently. But man, I think the market's stretched and it needs a pullback. So I actually hedged as soon as I saw that. I did go short ARK and short FANG stocks with FNGD. So SARK, FNGD. Could be wrong, but there's a lot of long stuff overnight. So I wanted to get some pre-market hedge in because of that PPI data. So if we look at the chart over here in QQQ and SPY, if we're going to pull back, if we're going to have a multi-day pullback, you could pull back all the way to the 20 DMA here, another 4 points or so at $300. And SPY, let's see where we're at there, 409, just a little bit to the 20 DMA. You really don't want to break that 20 DMA because then you're talking about much more downside. All right, so that's the story with the macro. Now, I thought today was going to be good because Cisco came in with a pretty good report, and the stock is up still this morning, and their $200 billion market cap, could have had a good impact on the QQQ, not only based on the formula that QQQ is run by, but also sentiment-wise. So I ran some numbers on Cisco based on their earnings, and yeah, I could see why the stock should be worth $60-65. And in fact, that's where a lot of the price targets came in there, $55-65. So can this one beat the trend today? Maybe fight the tape if the market's down. Is there going to be a buy in Cisco? Maybe. I don't know the stock well enough. We'll see if Vegas is going to be following that one at all. Okay, I'll get into the other big cap earnings in just a second. But first, I want to talk GNS. Okay, so GNS, last night we listened to the YouTube at 4:15, and we played it like a fiddle. It was great. If you're listening to the live YouTube, I mean, the CEO gave us a heads up on a PR that was to come out like later that afternoon. So I was like buying hand over fist at 6:42. And I sold when the PR came out at 7. That was this PR right here. Releases a product update with lifelong learning perspectives and full 2023 entrepreneur curriculum. Okay, so that came out. So that was great. Then he gave us another heads up that, hey, we're going to have more news this morning on the vote that they're having for share buyback and share consolidation. So I took out of that, wow, market's going to rocket when they say they've authorized a buyback. I kind of forgot about the share consolidation portion, but you could see in pre-market, everyone was pushing the stock in anticipation of that press release coming out when they had the vote this morning. But if you take a look at the press release, not only, I guess, was it a mistake to forget about the share consolidation portion of this press release, but the share buyback, I was hoping it would be something more concrete. Instead, it was the company board has approval to execute a share repurchase mandate at such time that they may choose within the next 12 months. And then further on, he says we haven't made any decisions about that yet. So nothing it's not concrete that, hey, we're doing a buyback right now and this is the dollar amount. I was hoping to be something more like that. And then regarding the share consolidation, he did give people a heads up last night that, hey, look, we're not actually going to do this. Share consolidation is a reverse split. It's like when this vote was set, the stock was trading at 50 cents. So reverse split is no longer needed for NASDAQ compliance. That's no longer worried. So they're not actually doing a reverse split. But you see, that's why the stock dove down this morning. So the play becomes a little trickier here, okay, at this point. I still think the dips are buyable, but it's not as clear as I thought it was this morning that, hey, we broke 733 and we're making a run for 799. You can see these are the two resistance levels right here. So you have, now like 708, but up here you had 733 and then 799. And if you break 799, you can make a move to $10. It may have taken a pause on that. because of how this press release came out this morning. So I'm not as bullish on that to play to the upside. But, if this thing kind of dives, you've seen a lot of volatility. So when we open at 9:30, there may be continued volatility. I think if you see any large spikes down, they will be bought back up, but certainly not as bullish as I was before that press release came out this morning. All right. Sting was basically in line from what I saw. Let's see what the headlines say, though. It says 424 misses 429 and 493 revenue beats 453. There was Jeffries came out here. They also added a share repurchase program of $250 million. Jeffries came out, raised the price target from $68 to $86. But to me, there was no compelling reason to add more to this in pre-market. I kept a little bit of this overnight. I'm waiting to hear from Matt S. on this, who told us about this play, on what he thinks about book value and where this might be going. But my read of it is pretty much in line, and nothing, crazy bullish, unexpected bullish came out of this report. So, got to talk to Vegas about Tesla. So Tesla broke 214, and I was like, hey, we're going to 225, right? Those are the numbers we set. So Vegas is real good with this stuff. What do you do when you break a key level, you drop below it, do you keep the faith and say, hey, we're going back to 225, or do you reset your expectations? I really don't know, especially with the hot PPI, and if QQQ and SPY pull back, what happens with this Tesla play? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for Vegas, see what she says. Although I got to tell you, I still like Google. The reason I still like Google, and I think I'm going to be adding to Google right at the open, is because Google's already been clobbered and it just bounced off the 50 DMA. This is different than Tesla, which has had a huge run and is nearing its top target I have for it, 225 or so, well, more like 224 right now. And so Google, I think this is a buying opportunity. I think this is something that can buck the tape. If the market's down, you might be able to see a green Google on a red day for the NASDAQ and the SPY. I think that's a possibility. So I will actually, I think I'm going to be buying more Google call options right at the open. And Microsoft, getting a little worried about that. I think we're seeing a rotation out of Microsoft back into Google. There's a lot of articles out there, a lot of blog posts, Elon Musk posting stuff about Bing search and ChatGPT, and now it's not so clear, right? For a few days there, it seemed like Microsoft is way ahead of Google. This Bing is going to be amazing. Can you imagine Bing with ChatGPT? They're going to get all this big market share. That was what the sentiment was for a few days. And now, after things are settling in, I think that sentiment is leaving, and that's not necessarily true anymore. And you're seeing money rotating back out of Microsoft and into Google. So between these three mega caps here in a red tape, I'm still bullish Google, but I'm a little questionable on Tesla, and much more questionable on Microsoft. So we'll have to look at those. Twilio, not a stock I follow, just letting you guys know that they did a big share buyback program with earnings. Earnings beat expectations. The CEO is going to participate in this buyback program. They also cut jobs a couple days ago on Monday, which was good for the stock. So you see the stock up here at $72, pulling back right at the 200 DMA. Crazy how that works out, right? For a while, it looked like it was gapping above the 200 DMA, but it pulled back right to that 200 DMA, $72. I don't have an opinion on this. Although, if it's going to move above that 200 DMA, just let you know, the 50-week moving average there at about $82 or so could be a target. I'm not playing that. Shop came in, disappointing results. Not playing. I quickly got in and got out last night after I looked at the report, and the reason why they have no visibility now. They're like, no, we're cutting guidance for Q1, and we're only giving you revenue guidance, and we're not giving you profit guidance, and we're not giving you even revenue guidance for the full year. And they have competition from Amazon now, and I'm like, that's not good. All right, so I'm avoiding Shopify right now. It's below the 20 DMA. I'm not sure where it goes, but you can see their support at $42. Maybe it goes to 42. Okay, maybe that's your target if you like playing things to the downside on Shopify. Cisco, a good report, and I would just mention it before. I think this one can buck the trend. Good, solid company, good earnings. Nothing unusual to talk about there, except it was just a solid report up and down. You can take a look at the commentary. Very nice report. Arch, this is a call stock like BTU. This one had like what looked like stellar earnings. If you look at the headlines, $23.18 EPS for Q4, beating it looks like it's beating analyst estimations of like $12.50. But if you go and actually read it, you'll see that a lot of this is because of a one-time benefit, a tax benefit of how much here? $253 million tax benefit. So if you back this out, I mean, you got to do all this math yourself. It comes to about $12.50, which is in line with analyst estimates. So EPS was actually in line with analyst estimates. Despite that, it's up this morning, perhaps on the headline, or perhaps just because they met analyst estimates, and this stock is extremely cheap. I mean, what's got to happen with coal? Like coal prices have to absolutely collapse for this stock not to go much higher. And that's what I guess the market thinks right now, giving it like a 2.5 PE if you annualize the earnings that just came out in Q4 for Arch. A little bit of news on Talk, a little product release. Talkspace launches first of its kind portal dedicated to employee mental health services. I'm not sure this is something that's going to move the needle today, but the stock has been moving anyway in anticipation of earnings, which are next week on Tuesday. So looks like this might continue to move, and you see your resistance there at 113. I would love to see this push up against 113 before the report, and then we hear a really good report, and then it's off to the races. I would love for that to happen. We'll have to see. I haven't sold any Talk yet at all. Wait. All right. Tony gave us some information on British Petroleum buying out this company called Travel Center of America, up 71%. It's a cash deal, like $1.2 billion or so, $86 cash, $1.3 billion. Now, this is interesting. Traveler Centers of America, if you look what they do, they operate travel centers, truck stops, it looks like. Truck stops and other travel centers where people can refuel, get gasoline. Interesting. So some speculation from Tony that this may be a play by BP to diversify away from oil and gas and towards EV. If you're buying these truck stops, and you can put EV charging stations in there. This could actually be an EV charging play, which is what Tony is thinking. And I think I buy that. I buy that sentiment, that market psychology, which may occur, and it may take like it took yesterday. Man, did we ever kill it yesterday, by the way, with we had four picks. And in the morning, I mean, what were they? They were like the GFS, SkyT, YEXT, and another one. And in the morning, after the first 30 minutes, I'm like, man, all my picks they're not working out. I was wrong today. And our buddy Yosef was like, Ben, sometimes it just takes the market time to catch up with you. And he was right. By the end of the day, all of our picks ended up flying. GFS, you had to buy the dip in the morning right at the open to get the benefit of that right there, which we did. So in any case, I think this might be one of those here with what's a sympathy play on this idea of TA? Where'd it go? TA. Blink, EV charging stations, right? There's also ChargePoint, but Blink I'm more familiar with more recently. And there's a couple other reasons I think this might be good. Because it looks like it's found its bottom here and it's going back up. So where would your target be? It's moving back up. Your target would be at that first moving average, which is a little bit of 12. And what else do you have? You have the offering, which was done at $12 a share right here, $100 million offering at $12 a share with no warrants. And the stock, kind of surprisingly went below 12. So now reversed. So it's started a reversal move, moving back towards this moving average. And now you have this potential sentiment of, hey, now the big oil companies are getting into EV and EV charging. So maybe this is a good time to get Blink. So I actually bought Blink in pre-market this morning, and maybe it's going to take a few hours, half a day, maybe a day for the market to catch up, right? We're trying to front run investor psychology. That's what ultimately this is all about. We talk about the four pillars, sentiment, catalysts, technicals, fundamentals, but what's it all about? At the end of the day, it's about psychology, right? What decisions are people going to make based on those factors? Even fundamentals is all about psychology, right? why would I want to own a company that has a certain EPS? Because I think that's better. Because I think one day, they're going to give a dividend with all that money they're making. Even though if you look at a microcap stock, they're printing earnings, whatever it is, like fundamental, you're never getting that money 95% of the time, right? 95% of the time, these microcaps they're even larger companies. They have like an EPS print or something. It's temporary. It's a cycle. It goes up and it goes down. You're actually never going to see that money in your pocket. So stop telling me about, it's fundamentals. No, it's psychology. That's what it is. Everything comes down to psychology, sentiment, catalyst, fundamentals, technicals. It all has to do with that. And we're trying to take those components and predict investor psychology and front run it. And that's what with the Blink purchase this morning, BLNK. YEXT and DermTech, these I picked up yesterday. I'm hoping it's hard in a tough tape like this, but I'm hoping for continuation. It's 9:15. If you want to hear more, you should have been here yesterday to hear why we got into YEXT yesterday with the Chat GPT and the DermTech and the Veterans Administration. But now it's time to move over to Vegas to talk about some stocks. Morning, Vegas. We missed you yesterday.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Missed you all too. I guess there was timing was lots going on yesterday, so couldn't make it on time here. Sorry about that, but happy to be here this morning. What's going on over there?
So we got a lot going on, and I really want your input on a couple stocks, Tesla and Google, more than anything. With the market, PPI came in hot, market's pulling back. I love Tesla break of 214 yesterday, so I got into that. Google, I really like today, even in a red tape. But let me know your thoughts on both of those.
Tesla's weekly chart's still really nice. We need to stay over this 210 because if it doesn't hold 210, Tesla unfortunately could pull back towards 206.45. So 210 is going to be a tough spot here. This data really kind of ruining the market momentum. But I definitely want to see it hold 210. I think if it holds 210, Tesla is a very powerful stock. So I'm not going to discount it that it's going to suddenly just pull back. So if it can hold 210, hold the line. It has room to 212.41. And then, if it can break that level of 212.41, then it has to then get towards 217.50, and then if that broke, we have some fireworks. So that's going to be an important level to break 210, hold 210, but watch for 212.41 because that's going to be an important break.
So I'd like to hear a little bit about how you manage. I'm assuming you had some calls overnight in Tesla, right? So yeah. How do you manage a situation like this? You're like, okay, it's at 210. Oh my gosh, it might go to 206. Do you do nothing and wait? Do you double down? Like, what's your strategy when you're?
I just do nothing. I just wait. Because it's too early to judge the performance of the stocks. I do nothing, especially like I have a lot of swing trades on Tesla. So I have like March monthlies. I have ones for next week. I have ones for this week. The ones for this week, I don't have as big a position because with OPEX coming and then next weekend also a long weekend coming up. So it's not gonna have a big position for weeklies, but I still have positions. So I will definitely wait when the market opens. You can't just judge right at the open. Oh my gosh, Tesla's gonna go down. It could have some volatility to the downside, but we very well know that the market is resilient and can reverse very fast as well to the upside. So I'm going to wait, let things, let's say panic sellers get out because that's what's going to happen. You're always going to have panic sellers. And so let them get out and then see how the stock wants to behave. So I'll have a better idea maybe by 10 o'clock, 10:30. Usually 10:30, a better feel for the market, but I am liking that it's holding this 210 level quite well. So I'm just gonna be patient with it and let the trade, try to play out because there is good momentum on the stock still, especially if it's holding this 210. Bulls still have a chance to push this through towards 212.41, and then we have potential action coming, more action.
Okay. All right, great. What about Google? We got some thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I have Google. I really like Google. Everyone's been buying the stock. Have you been buying the stock too?
I got into calls yesterday. I think the momentum's kind of shifting with this whole Chat GPT. I think Microsoft money's moving back into Google. I like to bounce off the 50 DMA yesterday, and I have a target of 98.50 on it right now.
Yeah, so I think right now, like I did see some nice pre-market
98.75.
sizing coming through on Google, GOOG, but it has to break 98.25 today to make a move. So make note of
That's
that
my
level.
target. I wanna play from 95 to 98.25.
Well, if it breaks 98.25, it's going to 99. So I wouldn't be in a
Yeah.
rush to sell it if it breaks that level. I would still continue holding. That's where the real move will come. If it breaks 98.25, you're going to break resistance right there, and then you're going to head you're going to head towards 98.50 and then 99.25. So you might want to make note of that level and hang on because that's the resistance right there. If it breaks it, it's going higher.
Sounds good. I also want to give you a shout out, Vegas. You let our community know about GNS when the stock was a little under $2
Yes.
when it first broke out, and we have been on top of this thing this whole way through, and it's just been amazing.
Genius.
Not that I've held the whole
Yeah.
way, but I've had a lot of trades
And
in.
Genius had news today, right? You guys know the
Yeah,
news
they
today?
did. They had news last
Yeah.
night. They had news this morning. So
Yeah.
this has
Yeah.
been amazing. I don't know if you've been following it. If you have any thoughts on that.
Well, I have Genus on my watch list today. So the level to watch today, because it had news, we want to break $7.50. And if it does break that, we're going to see some fireworks maybe towards 8, maybe 8.12, 8.50, maybe 8.70. So we have to watch this level here, 7.50. So far, the market kind of likes the news. So I want to see it break 7.50 today. And if it does, then you could also trade options on this. It has options too on Genus.
Oh, I totally
GNS.
forgot about that.
So
I've been doing common shares on this one.
yeah,
Totally
listen,
forgot
for
it has
Genus,
options.
I would say, to do a day trade on Genus might be a little bit, it's tough sometimes, but I say consider like a monthly. Like you could still day trade the monthly. It's safer. And you don't have to worry about like tomorrow's OPEX, next week's a short week. You don't have to be stressed out. You could just take a $7 call in the money if it breaks 7.50, and then March monthlies and just sit there with it and let the trade play out. I think you'll get paid quite well.
You can follow Vegas at I Love Stocks One on Twitter. And as well, I want to let people know we have opened up our app to the world unofficially. It's not
Yeah,
announced
muzzle
yet.
top. That's great.
Yeah, thank you. It's not announced on the website. There's a little work we have to do, but if you get in now, you can actually get everything for free. It's storytrading.com/app. It'll take you right to the app stores, and you can see all our shows and our CEO interviews and all our weekly Zoom meetings. You can get all of that for free until we put the paywall in over the next few weeks. So check it
they
out.
follow you at Story Trading. I think you put the link on Twitter today too. So if anyone's on Twitter, follow Story Trading. Ben's got the link there for you. It's very easy. Just click and go. Ready to go.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you so much, Vegas. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Take care.